Hey everyone, and welcome back to Rural Renovation. I'm a manager who's trying to bring life back to this land. Now, as you may have remembered, in the last episode, I found the shed on my field and my tractor tipped over. Now, first of all, I go and rescue my tractor and realise, oh gosh, I don't have a workshop to put it in to fix it. So the first thing I do is create a workshop. I made a little bit of square land and then I slapped a workshop on it, which took a couple of weeks to build actually, even though it was so small. I had a bit of land left over, so I put a petrol tank, electric vehicle charging station, and a power wash. Next thing I did was add some fences and lights, and there's my tractor high on its pedestal. The next thing I wanted to do was go check the house again, check if anyone's in there. But still, knocked the door, no one came. So I did what I do best, and I bulldozed the house down. Seeing as I have no conscience, I just carried on and went to my business, tending to the field and getting ready to plant my new crop. However, when I got back to my field, a random man came running out the bush. For a place that I thought wasn't meant to be inhabited, it is habited by one man. I ended up finding out that that man was the owner of the house that I've knocked down not once, but twice. So I had a chat with him and I said, look, if you help me build this town, I'll build you a house. You won't have to go hunting for food anymore and you'll actually have a good community around you and you'll feel safe. He told me there are other people that live on this expanse of land where he never speaks to them, so some company would be nice. I found out his name was Louis and I set him to work straight away. So while I was going to get my machinery and things that I needed to do the field, he set to work on the field. So while he was doing that, I decided to park up my Lamborghini tractor that was actually working and set to work on my other one that wasn't working so well. So I spent some time that afternoon just tapping away at my tractor and trying to fix what Louis had broken. And after some time, it was good as new. Voila! Down it comes, and straight to work it goes. Just to ensure that it was working correctly, I just put it on an easy job, which was to do the seeding. So because I felt absolutely guilty about knocking down not one, but two of Louis's houses, I decided to just leave him to it, do the field, and went on my merry way to find Louis a good location for his house. I came to this decision because I thought that Louis wouldn't mind being that close to my house, seeing as his original house was actually on the plot of land that I now built on. And having him close would really benefit me if he was to work around the farm, and so that he could just be there within arm's reach whenever I needed him. So I decided to put his house on the left-hand side of my house, if you're looking directly at it, just behind the field that he was actually planting now. At the moment, this piece of land was exposed to the elements, but I knew and I had plans in my head on what I wanted to do. The land was quite flat and accessible, so I started building a road in straight away. So I decided that surrounding the house I was going to build a little bit of a forest, kind of similar to mine, to make it feel more homely to him. I'll give him a little yard where he can park some of his cars that I can give him, and give him a really good life in exchange for helping me create this town. During this time, I also touched up a bit of the surrounding land by our yard, house, and field, where the grass was missing or it just looked a bit bare. Then I went back to the path I was creating and touched up the grass around there, and then ended up actually getting distracted and going around and checking the grass around my yard and around the workshop that I just built. While I was doing this, I was just thinking of the type of house I should build Louis, what I should do next on this land, and what is the priority at this point. Now I have an extra helping hand on this land, I think that the work will be faster and more productive, because not only did I have to previously think about the fields and things like that, I now actually have someone to do all that for me while I continue expanding and building everything that needs to be here. Now back to Louis's house. I thought this bit was perfect. You can have a nice overview of my house, the yard and the field, and behind you can have a bit of trees planted, which then will have a track facing this way to go to the other fields or other parts of the community when we start creating them. So this bit will be covered by trees anyways, and then on the left hand side by here he can have a little bit of a garden, maybe some flowers, or a road, whichever he wants really. I'll just make sure to ask him before I do that part. And over the next few days I spend this time planning and making sure that every detail is perfect for Louis's house to be built. However, over the next few days following this, the council hear of my plans to start building another house and decide to give me a call. They tell me that I'm doing way too much building and I'm really not thinking much about the environment itself. They inform me that I'm not allowed to build any more buildings until I come up with a way to make things more sustainable and eco-friendly for the surrounding environment on this land. But what am I meant to tell Louis? He's doing all this work and now he's getting nothing from me. What do I do? See what I end up doing in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.